Good afternoon, everyone. It indeed is a very special afternoon with young boys and girls longing to meet people who have reached the pinnacles of success in their respective fields and will be here today to inspire them and motivate them. So all of you, welcome to Meet Your Mentor 2.0, a platform wherein the young minds will interact with and accelerate their aspirations from those individuals who can be considered as trailblazers in their specific areas. Ladies and gentlemen, Shangri-La has been instrumental in shaping up the lives of thousands of its students, and this is yet another step in this direction. As you know, that we at Shangri-La strive for excellence, and indeed our efforts are dedicated to the betterment of the students' community. We thank all people associated with this program, XLED, CLAP, Helping Two Hands, Uttate Child Development Center, and ERCC, and also would acknowledge the support of MGM Events, Iqbalia Junior College, and AP Book World to conduct this program. I wish to extend a very special and warm welcome to our esteemed guests of today's event. I take pride in welcoming Mr. Muhammad Suleiman, Honorable Consul General, Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Mr. B. Shafiullah, IFS Secretary, Telangana Minorities Residential Educational Society. Dr. Prashant Uttage, Consultant Pediatric Neurologist. Janab S.R. Safdar Sir. A huge round of applause, please. And I request the organizers, Dr. Srikant, Muhammad Farhan, and Mr. Abdul Rahman to kindly escort them onto the dais. Amidst a huge round of applause, please. Please, sir, kindly occupy your place on the dais. Thank you, everyone. Now, I wish to invite Muhammad Abdul Nafe Farhan, Director, XLED, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests on the dais, esteemed dignitaries seated in the audience, and young boys and girls who have came here to get inspired. I am Muhammad Abdul Nafe Farhan, Director of XLED. I take the pleasure and honor of welcoming all of you on the wonderful program Meet Your Mentor 2.0. It is the effort that many days seems to be frustrated, and I see many young determined children who are determined to make their life meaningful, and I am sure you will feel the vibes and a positive change attitude after the session. I wish to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Muhammad Suleiman Kakar, the Honorable Consul General of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, and I wish to thank you, sir, for accepting our invite. He has actively participated in the process of reconstructions, development, and peace building in Afghanistan, and has worked in key government positions. Thank you so much, sir. We welcome you. And I take the pride to welcome Dr. Srikant, Dr. Prashant Uttage. Extend warm welcome to you, sir. Consultant Pediatric Neurologist, Dr. Prashant has been touching the lives of so many children. Uttage Child Development Center has been emerged as a center that spreads smiles, and we wish to thank you for that. Welcome you, sir. I wish to acknowledge the presence of Janab Syed Rafiuddin Safdar Sahab, Abdur Rahman Sahab, Dr. Srikant, and all amenity personalities present here. And I also extend a warm welcome to the parents, students, and teachers who have came from various schools and thank them for helping us to make this program successful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I take the pleasure of inviting an individual who has been responsible for the conduct of this magnificent program, the brain behind the entire concept, a multitasking individual, one who leaves no stone unturned in drawing the best out of everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite Dr. Sayyid Shafiuddin Ejaz, our director, to please introduce the program to us.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. And I'm sure, dear students, your presence has filled all us, the teachers, with so much of energy and vibrance that we are happy that we still have people, after a gap of about 1.5 years of no physical classes, we still have students who want to make their life meaningful. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to acknowledge the presence of Mr. B. Shafiullah Sahab. A huge round of applause. Shafiullah Sahab, IFS, the Secretary of Telangana Minority Residential Educational Society. Sir, I welcome you onto the dais, sir. Please. Amidst a huge round of applause. Come on, people, everyone. A man who has been serving the government as an IFS since 2003. Sir, hearty welcome to all of you, sir. I think flowers are the best way to welcome someone, and we have one student presenting a bouquet of flowers to our honorable guest, Shafiullah Sahab. Go to the center. Come on, children, faster. Great. Huge energy is needed, is required, and we have our honorable chief guest. I would like to introduce him also. We have Muhammad Suleiman Sahab, who was there. He's the Honorable Consul General of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. And the basic reason why I am so happy having him over here is because he has been striving hard to develop peace, to uphold peace, peace which is the requirement in today's world. I think hats off to him for all his efforts which he has done. And remember, however successful you are, unless and until there is peace in this world, जब तक दुनिया में अमन शांति नहीं रहेगी, किसी भी किस्म का, किसी भी लेवल का, किसी भी तरह का उन्नति प्रगति का कोई मायना नहीं रहेगा. So, ladies and gentlemen, I also take the privilege of thanking Shafiullah Sahab. Amidst his busy schedule, he has given us time, and he'll be the keynote speaker for us today. A quick introduction of the program, sir. The program is basically timed at this point of time wherein for past so many years, I would say, children have lost a sense of direction towards their goals. Because they are away from classes, physical classes, I would say, and we thought that yahan pe we will give them a platform wherein they will meet people from different fields. And we are happy and thankful that we have got such wonderful individuals who have come as mentors for them. From the field of medicine, we have got Dr. Abbas Ali, Dr. Asi is over here. All these people, they are pioneers in their own field. They have an opportunity to ask questions. They have an opportunity to interact with them, to know and get direction in life. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me not take it beyond the stipulated time. I would request Dr. Prashant to kindly, help us with few words. Dr. Prashant is a pediatric neurologist and he understands the brain. Clap your hands for Dr. Prashant. Abdur Rahman Sahab, I would request you to please kindly occupy your place on the dais. Please come.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Shafi Bhai. And warm welcome to all of you, and main our chief guest and guest of honor to be presence of dais. Since last 1.5 years, everyone is online, and being working in a child neurology, yesterday I was discussing with my own parents. I'm getting frustrated after seeing so many kids coming to us because of the side effect of the online, not online classes, but it's mainly gadgets, what they are using it. So those who are a teacher and parents who are present here, just when you are asking your kid to join online, be aware that the screen time Now WHO has released a guideline that the screen time below 6 years should be zero. Let it be TV, let it be mobile, let it be tab. And the major side effect is happening in a child who is from 1 year to 5 years is the speech delay. They are unable to communicate their needs and they are showing by their body and they are not responding when you call them. Just they are not responding. But if they listen their favorite song wherever they are coming by only that one single sound. So for the parents, be cautious about use of the screen. Definitely it's very, very important to do the classes. But at the same time, once you finish your screen, like important thing like classes are over, make sure that it should be switched over to the physical activity. Try to involve all kids, especially either let it be cycling, let it be horse riding, let it be running or jumping, whatever. But your child should spend their energy into the physical play and burst their energy so that it won't affect their normal child development. With this, the most important part is the teacher. So those teacher who are present over here, just request watch their child's development, whether they are responding properly or not. Second thing, many kids are unable to focus on the screen while studying. That is, they are lacking the attention. We call it as the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So be aware and then try to do the intervention as early as possible. Thanks to Dr. Shafi Bhai for giving us opportunity to be present over this dais. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mr. B. Shafiullah, IFS Secretary, Telangana Minority Residential Education Society, to kindly deliver the keynote address for our program. Let me admit that your presence amidst us has given us a lot of encouragement. Over to you, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Janab Sulaiman, the Consulate General of Afghanistan, Janab Dr. Prasad Saha, and Janab Safdar, Janab Farhan, Sri Srigant, and Safiuddin Aizaz, all the students and parents, other organizers. Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, Namaskar. I am very happy to meet you. Whenever I meet students, especially, I get a lot of energy from you. So when Saida came to my office, when she invited, just I was going through that invitation, it is a mentors, meet your mentors. So it was so interesting program. So I wish to participate. That's why in spite of my busy schedule, I came here to interact, to share my experience so that it will be helpful to you in your future. And the mentors, during this pandemic, arranging this kind of the program, really it is a wonderful for our children. Already the doctors have told that most of our students, they are in the online classes and they are missing their teachers, their classmates. They don't have the real classrooms. So this kind of program will helpful. And I wish that you will get maximum inputs from all the panelists here. And I have seen the captain, pilots are there, doctors are there, and they are from the media. They are all the professionals. I really respect them, all the professionals, because the professionalism is very, very important in your life. Whether you are a student, whether you are a doctor, or an engineer, or a scientist, the professionalism is very, very important. I will touch upon about professionalism in the latter part of my speech. As I told, mentors are very, very important. Everybody should have a mentors. Mentors, not only at the student, for students' age, but even the professionals also need the mentors. Even the organization needs the mentors. So when I was a student, I was missing, I was not having a the mentors at all in the student's life, because I came from the very rural part of the Tamil Nadu. I studied in a government school, and I don't have you. You are lucky that you are in the city. You will get lot of mentors. You will get lot of support. But at that time, when I was a young student like you, I was missing the mentor. So I was searching for the mentor, but I could not get. So what I did, the mentor can be your friend, the mentor can be your teacher, your parent, or your brother or sister. But I don't find any mentor. So what I did, I become my mentor myself. So I am the mentor for myself. दूसरा ढूंढने के लिए जरूरत नहीं है. And Alhamdulillah, I have come to this stage. And you see, the mentor, you should have a good mentor, and the good mentor will change your life. He can change your course of your life. Okay. Recently, I was a mentor for the group of 25, the probationers who are the IAS and IPS and from the different services. I feel very happy, and I was doing the mentorship for these professionals for past 6 months in the MCHRD Institute, and it is a very useful. You see, why we need the mentor as a student? Because the mentor knows the whatever already you are going to face the challenges. He already knows the experience. He knows the thorough knowledge of what is going to happen in the future. In your stage, you cannot anticipate. In your age, you cannot anticipate what is going to happen in the future. So the mentors will guide you into the righteous path. You see, I want to just briefly, I want to touch upon the minority residential schools, which I am running. I always tell my teachers that you should not be a teacher only. You should be a mentor, because we are running some 204 minority residential schools, around 1 lakh students, poor students are studying. These are pure 100% residential schools. They are leaving, they leave their parents, they leave their homes, they are coming and they are staying in our schools. So only teachers teaching will not help us. So all my teachers should be a mentors. I always, in every meeting, I used to insist that you should play a mentor's role, because mentors is beyond the teacher. You have to take care of their health, you have to take care of their issues, emotional issues, psychological issues, and the nutritious issues. Many of the students, they come with a lot of family problems. Many of the students are orphans, many of the students have the single mother, lot of problem in their home. So first we have to fix that problem, then only you can teach our students. Then only in the school the learning process will take place, especially in the residential schools. So the second thing I insist upon my teachers should be, you should be a professional. Some of the principals and teachers, they came that I have produced 70% of result, pass percent, 60%, 70%. You see, all the teachers should be a professionals. You see, if you are taking your bike to car mechanic or a motor mechanic, if he is not able to fix your car or bike, whether will you call him as a professional? No. One cardiologist is there, doctor, somebody got a heart attack, he has to undergo the bypass surgery. If he is not able to do the bypass surgery 100%, will you call him as a cardiologist? Then why can't the teachers? Teachers also should have a 100% result. Okay, the professionalism is very, very important in teaching life. So the two things I always insist upon my teachers, that you should be a professional. You should bring a 100% result, like a cardiologist, like a car mechanic, and as well as you should play as a mentor. Okay, so that is about the minority residential schools, and most of you are preparing for the civil service exams. You will be preparing for so many exams. Some of the tips I want to share, which I followed, I hope that it will be helpful for you. So what I did is, Like that, everybody, every successful person should have a vision and goal or a dream in your life. That is the first thing you have to develop. You see, any successful people on the dais, or any a CEO or any businessman or a politicians who are successful, they have common thing. One thing they have is they had a vision. They have a dream. Without dream, you cannot achieve your goal. Okay. So after that vision, if you have a dream, for example, if you want to become an IAS officer, then you have to plan accordingly. You have to prepare. Planning and preparation and execution. These three things is very important. If you execute, if you plan properly, if you prepare properly, if you execute properly with a scientific approach, 99% that you will get this success. I will write and I will give it to you. Okay. So the planning also very important. Preparation also very important. Sometimes many students I have seen without proper planning, just they will go to the preparation stage. So planning is as important as the preparation and the execution. Okay? The planning is like you should know about your strength and weakness, which are the subject you are going to choose. Okay? You have to collect all the material. This planning is very important. If you want to fight a war, you have to sharpen your weapon. Planning is like that. You have to sharpen your weapon. So planning is very, very important, and it should be a very, very scientific approach. You have to put into, you should know what is your strength and weakness. Then once the planning is over, then you go to the preparation stage. Preparation is like just like a practice. Even the Sachin Tendulkar, who is the Sachin Tendulkar? He is one of the #1 cricketer, batsman. But still, if tomorrow is the match, he will come to the nets and he will practice. Okay. So the practice will make you perfect. You have to keep on doing the mock test, written test. You have to perfect you. The practices, even the Bharatanatyam, somebody is a good in Bharatanatyam, but before the event is there, they will come and practice. So that it will go into your subconscious mind. During execution, it will come like a flow, will flow like you can perform very well. Then last stage is execution. That is actually you are writing the exam. You have planned well, you have prepared well, okay. But if you have not executed properly, then all your efforts will go waste. Okay. So many of the students, they lose their marks because of they become nervous. You have to control your nervousness. You have to remove your fear. And you should be bold and you should be confident, whether it is a written exam, whether it is a interview, or whether it is a personality test. You should be a confident, 100% confident. Then your scoring will be more. Okay. And even if health also very important. Even a mild headache will spoil your test, your exam. During the exam, if you don't take care of your health, if you get fever or small cold or flu, then your performance will go down. So you have to take care of your physical health as well as the mental health. So this is the three things. When I prepared for civil services, I followed this. I had a strong determination and I followed scientific way preparation. And the smart study is very important. In my first attempt, I spent 6 months continuously. Tirelessly, I studied for 6 months, but I could not clear. But in my second attempt, I spent only 45 days. But easily I could clear the civil service. It is because of the smart study. Okay? That is a scientific approach. That is very, very important. That will make a lot of difference. You have to do the reverse engineering. China mein kya hota hai? If any iPhone or any product is released, immediately they will do the reverse engineering. Then they will manufacture the same kind of product. Similarly, you have to do the backward engineering. You have to know that which chapters are very important, what kind of questions are going to be asked, and you should be thorough. You should be a pakka before appearing for exam. You should become a master. then inshallah 100% you will be successful. And I want to touch upon the minority residential school. You see, we are all running towards to get this success. So how to get this success? I want to share my own experience in my professional life, that the minority residential school. How many of you knowing the minority residential schools? Raise your hands. The government of Telangana minorities residential schools, TEMRIS. There are 204 schools. Okay. In the year 2016, it is a brainchild of our Honorable Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao Sahab, and he wants to start the schools, residential schools for the minority children, poor minority children. It's totally a free education. Not even a single rupee they have to pay. Everything is free, from food, accommodation, books, textbooks, uniform, shoes, sports material, everything is free, on par with the international and corporate schools. We spend around 75,000 per student per annum. When the idea came, he called me and he given this chance of starting these schools. At that time I was not knowing anything about the education, but we learned quickly, we put lot of efforts. The time given for us only 4 months. 4 महीने में 71 school start करना. That is an impossible task. Even एक school start करने में 1 साल हो जाता. But 71 schools in 4 months, it is really a challenging job. We have to identify the building, we have to recruit the teachers, and we have to convince the students for admissions. Then we have to procure the material. All these things we have done continuously. As I prepared for my civil service exam for 6 months continuously, here also, after coming to the service also, we worked hard for 4 months. We have not seen sunlight for 4 months. We used to go to home 10 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock in the night. We left our families, we left our children. We have done lot of sacrifice. We put hard work. We had a vision. Okay, we had a good teamwork. There are some officers, they worked with me day and night. So Alhamdulillah, by God's grace, successfully we are able to start 71 schools in 4 months. Those schools become a super success that brought a good name, and the parents also, without seeing our schools, we got a sufficient number of students in first year itself, and it became a super success. The honorable MLAs and the ministers, they have requested our chief minister, honorable chief minister, to साहब हमारे constituency में एक minority residential school दे दो. That was a request. They are not demanding the roads or other development works. They are demanding the one minority residential school in our constituency. So we have created such kind of demand, and our honorable chief minister also, he is a very generous person. He has sanctioned 121 school in second phase. So again the journey, continuous journey. हम सोचे 4 महीने के बाद में रिलैक्स करेंगे. Okay, अभी काम हो गया, we can relax. But again we have to, there is a challenge of starting another 121 schools in 8 months. So in 12 months period, around 200 schools we have started. That is a world record. That is a great success we have achieved. ठीक है? The success के पीछे में lot of sacrifice is there, hard work is there. Okay, if you put hard work, if you have a good vision, why I am telling you all these things is, whether you are a student life, whether you are professional life, whether you are in student life, whether you are in a professional life, all these things are helpful to achieve your goal. In the student life, if you want to get IAS or a doctor or engineer, if you want to clear NEET or IIT, same principles. You should have a vision, you should put hard work, have a smart study. Okay. You see the legendary boxer. Who is the legendary boxer? Muhammad Ali, he spent 8 hours, 12 hours in the gym practice. Arnold was a bodybuilder. He spent 8 hours in the gym to build his body. Michael Phelps was an Olympian. He used to get, he got many gold medals in the Olympics. Okay, he spent a lot of time in the practice. ठीक है, they have done lot of hard work. अगर आपके पास vision है, आपके पास dream है, how much hard work you will put, you will not get tired. You will enjoy it. कितना भी आप पढ़ो, आपको tiredness नहीं रहेगा, bore नहीं मारेगा. But if you have a vision in your mind, if you have a dream in your mind, but अगर dream नहीं है, even studying 1 hour also a big burden for you. You will not enjoy studying. ठीक है, you should have that kind of vision, dream, and fire in your mind that you can put lot of hard work, do the smart study, and these qualities will help you in your life, whether you are in your students, whether you are a professional. Okay, and the success is not a permanent one. I want to insist. I want you to be a fighter. Life is like a roller coaster. ठीक है, एक बार आप IAS लेगा, if you got the IAS, that is not a permanent thing. Even after getting to service also, you put a hard work. You have to struggle. You should have a proper professionalism. You should have a skills. Skills is very important. Without skills, you are not going to survive in the future. All my students, you should have a skills. You should have a soft skills. You should have a communication skills, professional skills. Only knowledge is not going to help you. Even if you get into a doctor, if doctor is not having skills, he will not be as successful. You know? So the skills and very skills and knowledge and values, that also very important. And you should be a fighter. Life is like up and downs. Even in the professional lives, you will see the lot of challenges, and you have to fight and you have to struggle, and then only you will be successful. I will stop here. I think I have crossed my limit, time limit. There are other panelists, they are waiting for to explain and talk to you, and it is a golden opportunity. These mentors are going to play a major role in future in your life. I sincerely thanking all the organizers, especially from the Sankarilla consultants, Dr. Syed Safiuddin Aizaz and Mrs. Saida Asra, for inviting me to this program. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words of encouragement and those words of wisdom. I'm sure the students will be benefiting out of it. Because we have a session planned and we need to double up the things, I think the prize distribution part, we'll have it after this particular session. Ladies and gentlemen, कहा जाता है कि हर सक्सेसफुल, जैसा कि साहब बता रहे थे, कि हर सक्सेसफुल इंसान के पीछे एक उस्ताद का बहुत बड़ा हाथ होता है. And we at Shangri-La, what we try to do is we try to motivate people who are into this noble field of profession, in this noble profession of teaching. And we have instituted the Janab Muhammad Wahabuddin Memorial Award, and this is the 18th consecutive year that this award is being given, and I'm very happy that this year we are giving the awards to 3 youngsters who have been teaching like for about 10 years, 12 years, and I want every one of you to please give a huge round of applause as we present the award. I request all our guests to kindly present the award, the Honorable Chief Guest and the keynote speaker of the day, the guest of honor. I invite on stage Swapna. Come on, Swapna. Huge round of applause, everyone. Siddiqa Tarannum and Laika. Go ahead, go ahead. Idhar se aao. Come on, the claps have to go on. हाथ में तेरे वरदान का है कड़ा, दूसरों को बना दे तो खुद से बड़ा. So ladies and gentlemen, let us have the presentation of the award. Swapna will be is being presented the award. I request the Honorable Chief Guest to kindly present the award to P. Swapna. Siddiqa Tarannum will be presented the next award. I request Shafiullah Sahab to kindly do the honors. Siddika Tarannum. She teaches biology for class 10th and Swapna is a maths teacher. And we have Leikha who will be presented the award. She is also a teacher of biology. I request the Honorable Counsel General to please present the award. Students, because we have to rush with our next session, your awards, we'll just put it on hold. I'm sure you don't have a problem with it. Good, I love you. I think now we would have the honor of listening to the chief guest of the function. I request him to kindly address us with few words and then we shall close the session and our session on medicine will begin. Thank you students for being a wonderful audience. Clap your hands for yourselves.
Honorable Mr. Shafiullah, my dear brother Mr. Abdul Rahman, distinguished panelists, respectable parents, respectable teachers, dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon and namaste. Thank you so much for inviting me for this wonderful event. I really feel honored to be among you today here. And peace and shanti, that as our friend said, that's the most important objective of every human being in this world. So what are those abilities? What are those skills? I would just highlight some of those. I'm sure the distinguished panelists will talk more about that. But the fact that what I find it more useful, that first of all, you have to start loving yourself. You have to see yourself that you are a valuable person. If you don't see yourself as a valuable person and you don't love yourself, you will be not successful. So that leads you towards a positive thinking. So positive thinking only can come to you once you love yourself. And trust your instinct, and trust your ability, and have the confidence that you can do it. No one in this world is perfect, I tell you, but you can work towards perfection. That's a different thing. So you can learn from your mistakes, and hard work never goes unrewarded. Distinguished Honorable Mr. Shafiullah said that you have to prepare yourself, you have to work hard. He mentioned, give examples of those successful athletes or sportsmen who have worked 8 hours continuously. Always have a reward, so it will never go unrewarded. As I said, you can learn from your mistake, cope with failure. That's important, cope with failure. If we don't fail, we cannot succeed. Tell you, you fell on the ground and then you stand up. You fell on the ground and you stand up. You fail in something and then you achieve. So you have to cope with failure, and then you can learn from your mistakes, and then you do not repeat the mistakes. Believe in yourself, as I said, that you have the confidence and you can achieve it. You can do it and you can be positive, and you have always to have positive thinking. Improve your critical thinking. That's an area that I'm sure the teachers will have told you. So you have to develop and improve critical thinking in yourself. You have to challenge things around you, and then you will come to a judgment later on. So don't judge things at a very early stage of your life. And for that critical thinking, it is necessary to remove your biases first. You should not have prejudices, you should not have stereotypes, and you should not have prejudgment about any phenomena. So you have to experience, you have to challenge, you have to test, you have to go through it, and then have your own conversion of the subject or whatever the thing is. Be peaceful. I think being is having a great meaning. How can you be peaceful to others? First, you have to be peaceful with yourself, with your mind, and then with your siblings, with your friends, with your teachers, with your parents, with your society, with anybody in the world, in the globe. So, and then use non-violent approach to deal with your issues. I think we can have two options for dealing with our issues: using violent approach that can be destructive for yourself and for others, and non-violent approach that can be good for you and others too. So you can follow the Gandhiji's non-violent approach in terms of dealing your issues. Just one personal experience I want to share with you, and I'm sure your teachers and mentor will help you also in that aspect, that try to have the ability and skills of analysis of yourself, assessment of yourself as an individual, assessment of an organization where you work for or you live with, for a family, or any context you go to. So a very useful tool in management you can find, I'm sure you are aware of it or you know about it, it's called SWOT analysis. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and constraints. What it means, you have two environments. One is your internal environment, while the other is external environment. The internal environment is your strength and weaknesses. You must develop the ability of analysis. I will try to remove them. So that leads you to a success. Then, as I said, opportunities and constraints. In the external environment, out of your space, there are factors that can contribute as an opportunity for you. So you have to be able to see and seize what are the opportunities that can help you. Using that opportunity, combining it with your strength, you will be successful. Okay? And what are the constraints? You can remove the constraint. And you will overcome the weaknesses. So just to conclude my talks with you, start to think locally and think globally, but act locally, okay? You cannot do the major things as you can, but you can have a very global vision. You can have a global vision, you can have a thinking globally, but start acting locally. Small things contributes. Someone has said that those who have been able to achieve walking or going a distance of 1,000 miles, that's by steps, you know. You cannot just fly 1,000 miles in a second, but you have to take time, go step by step, and you will be able to complete your journey of 1,000 miles. It reminded me of a Farsi poem. It says, "Zekhak ta ba falak, har chi hast rahpaymast. Zekhak ta ba falak, har chi hast rahpaymast. Qadam gushay ke raftar karwan tez ast." It means everything in the universe is in a constant move. Everything in the universe is in a constant move. So keep pace. The caravan is running very fast. So in order to be able to keep with the pace of caravan, so you have to move fast. You have to work hard. And I wish you all the success, and I wish you become the future effective leaders of your surrounding, your country, and of the world. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wonderful words of wisdom. I think both our speakers deserve a huge round of applause, and as we applaud, we present mementos as a token of thanks to our guests. I request Sayyid Rafiuddin Safdar Sahab, the Chief Patron of FAS, to kindly present the awards, the token of thanks. Come on, the claps have to go on. Mohammed Sulaiman Sahab, he's being presented a token of thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. And also, Shafiullah Sahab, he'll be presented a token of thanks. Come on, people, everyone. Although the people on the stage, the remaining people on the stage, that is Dr. Srikanth, Abdul Rahman Sahab and me, we are a part of the organizing team, but still it would be honor for all of us to receive a small memento from the reverend guest. Although I would request you also to please come to the dais, please. I request sir to kindly present a token of thanks to Abdul Rahman Sahab. Shafiullah Sahab will felicitate Dr. K. Srikanth. One more person who has been a strong support is Mohammad Ghaus Mohyuddin Sahab. I request the Honorable Counsel General to kindly present a token of appreciation and token of thanks to him. Babu bhai, thoda sa I want... Ladies and gentlemen, that was all for our inaugural function. A huge round of applause, and we immediately start the first session. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.